Hi guys, this is Liz Murphy. I'm very happy today to do the November 2017 tip of the month for the CASA Care Talk series. And the tip for today is to audit your payroll and personnel practices. When I say audit, I mean to go back and take a look and self-check to make sure that your payroll and personnel practices are compliant. The most important thing with regard to your payroll practices is to make sure that you have accurate time records for all of your non-exempt employees. That means accurate records showing what time they start work and what time they finish work, including what time they clock out for their meal period and back in from their meal period. And that's for your office workers and any field employees who are either not personal attendants in a private home or personal attendants in a hospital or other facility. Personal attendants in a private home don't have to clock out for their meal periods, and they're not entitled to rest periods, provided that they spend at least 80% of their time on tasks that directly benefit the client. So when you're auditing, make sure that you have some record somewhere that that care provider understands that very important rule that they're only supposed to spend 20% or less of their time on things like housekeeping. Very important, otherwise you could face a claim for personal attendants who think that they should have gotten their meal and rest periods. Another really important thing to make sure that you audit for is that your exempt employees are truly exempt. So any office workers to whom you're paying a salary and you're not keeping accurate payroll records for them, make sure that they truly qualify as exempt. Are they getting paid twice the minimum wage in California? Are they performing at least 50% of their time on exempt type duties? Very important to make sure that your exempts are truly exempt. And on the flip side, when you pay your employees, those pay stubs better be accurate under Labor Code Section 226. You have to have a separate line item for how much you're paying them, how many hours they've worked, what their overtime rate is, and so forth. So make sure that your payroll and your time records are accurate. The next thing I wanted to make sure that you audit for is your personnel practices. Do you have an employee handbook that is up to date? California laws are always changing for employment requirements, so your handbook has to be up to date and it has to reflect the latest and greatest in California law. And those laws are changing at least every 6 months. So if you haven't had it updated lately, do so soon. Make sure that your employment application form doesn't have, for example, criminal history information on it. We have that ban the box legislation in California, and in other cities. California may be signed by the governor, but we want to make sure our employment application forms are up to date, and any other documents you have. Are you paying properly for mileage and drive time when your care providers have 2 assignments in the same day? If so, you want to make sure that you're providing pay for those. So these are just a few of the tips. We have so many, it's hard to summarize in a period of 3 minutes. But just take a look and audit your payroll practices, and thank you so very much for your time.